Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. I begin in the name of the God whose mercy is profound, whose kindness is forever. This is our second session for learning Arabic language, and we're gradually moving towards a stage where those who do not know, not familiar with the Arabic alphabets, should first familiarize themselves with those alphabets, and then we shall move on to discussing the basic principles. I remember I mentioned at the beginning of the first session that those who already know what the Arabic alphabets are need not go into the first session. Well, I say now that probably they may not even need to go through the second session as well, because this is primarily going to be based on vowels in Arabic and a few other concepts, and then we shall move on to apply the understanding of the alphabets of Arabic that we have already developed to form words. So if you think that you already know it, and most certainly those people who already know Arabic, how to read it, or similar languages like Urdu, Persian, probably they will not need to listen to and follow the second session as well. So now I begin with the mention of vowels. The English vowels are A, E, I, O, U. In Arabic, interestingly, we have A, well, that is the equivalent of A, the equivalent of I, and the equivalent of U. So, as if systematically, the second and the fourth vowel in English have been removed as far as their usefulness for Arabic vowels is concerned. The different aspect in Arabic is that while in English, vowels are very much a part of the list of alphabets, and they fall somewhere in the middle of the whole list of alphabets. However, in Arabic, you do not have any distinct alphabets for vowels. They are represented by three symbols, which if I use, let's say, ba as an example to show how vowels appear, you will have this mark to show the equivalent of A, which is called fatha. Fatha. I hope now those who have been practicing their alphabets would be able to pronounce this word a little better than before. Fatha. That is A. And when you have ba and you have the symbol of the equivalent of A, the fatha, which, by the way, in Urdu we call zabar, we would pronounce it as ba, ba. Then we have the next one is I. Now, I, the equivalent of it in Arabic is kasra, kasra. Now, it is as if I already think that you already know it, the use of zabar. So I put a vowel above ka, and it is kasra. So ba, but I has the symbol which is mentioned exactly the same form, same design as A, as fatha, but it's used underneath the letter. So it's ba, it's B. A third vowel is, well, in Urdu it's Zair. The third vowel is the equivalent of U. which is dhamma. Dhamma. Which if we use with an Arabic letter like ba, it's going to be like this. Yeah, it's somewhat like a comma in English, and it gives you the sound of boo. So, for example, if I was to write ka, ta, ba. Now, this is an Arabic word, but if you're not familiar with Arabic, you would not be able to read it properly because you don't know what vowels are used in this particular word. But if I was to tell you that the vowels are fatha on ka, a fatha on ta, and a fatha on ba. Now, fatha, mind you, is A. So, ka, ta, ba. It is ka, ta, ba. Now, let's use the same three letters but with different vowels. And by the way, these are real words in Arabic. And you say, you put a dhamma on ka and a kasra, which is the equivalent of I, on ta, and a fatha on ba, which is the equivalent of A. So kaf has the equivalent of U, dhamma, which by the way in Urdu is pesh. Kasra on ta, fatha on ba. So we will pronounce it as, on ka it's dhamma, the equivalent of U, ko. Then ta has kasra zer, the equivalent of I, ti. And ba has fatha, which is the equivalent of a. So ko, ti, ba, kutiba, kutiba. As we know that ordinarily no word can be pronounced without a vowel. So likewise in Arabic, you cannot pronounce a word without a clear understanding of what vowels are involved. So these are essentially the three vowels. However, there is an interesting equivalence, call it affinity, that there is between three vowels and three Arabic letters, alphabets. Those three vowels and their call them partner letters, alphabets are, if we start with zamma, which is this symbol. The equivalent alphabet is vav. Now, then we have fatha. Fatha. This, by the way, could be written like this as well. Fatha. Fatha. The equivalent is, we write it like this, as I did there, but the equivalent Arabic alphabet for with this fatha is alif. And then the third one is, we know, is kasra, which is written like this, B, and the equivalent letter alphabet is is ya, which has close affinity with kasra. Now, what is the significance of all this understanding? The significance is that, for one thing, you can never have a vowel that appears on a letter which is not having affinity with it, which is, in other words, belonging to the other two categories, which are not quite as in the same line, in the same flow as that vowel. You will always have in Arabic words a vowel appearing with one of these three letters, but only the one which is in partnership in close association with it as far as its sound is concerned. Now, let me try to make things simpler. Let me give you the example of three words to try to make things less complex than what I have done as yet. There is a word, famous word, kitab, book. You write without vowels, and it's like this. But we've got to give vowels. As I said, without vowels, you can't pronounce. Even if you don't write, you've got to use them for the purpose of clarifying what the sound is going to be. So it's kasra ki, then fatha ta, and then you have something that we're going to talk more about later, two dhammas, kitabun. Now, what I'm trying to clarify is that what you find is that ta has a fatha. It's like ta has an A, followed by alif, which is what is the partner letter of fatha. Now, when you have an alif immediately following fatha, the sound is going to be twice as long as that of simple fatha. In other words, what I'm trying to say is that this word we read was ka-ta-ba. Ka-ta-ba. Just try to imagine, try to see the length of all three, ka-ta-ba. But when it comes to an alif immediately following fatha, the sound becomes twice as long. It's now kitab, not kitab, kitab. It gets prolonged, extended. Now, I hope you understand it. If I now use the other vowel, which is dhamma. Now, the equivalent alphabet is vowel, and I write a word, let's say noon. Noon. Now, noon is has a vowel which is there. It's the dhamma, and it's equivalent to you. Now, it's immediately followed by vaw, which has affinity, which is the same category as dhamma. So the sound of this dhamma is doubled. It's noon. Let's say we used this dhamma in kutiba. Did you hear that it was just kutiba, not kutiba, kutiba? Now, because it has now been followed by a vaw, which is the partner alphabet of dhamma, So it's now noon. It's longer. And the third example is the example of kasra, where you have kasra over here, and obviously the partner alphabet is ya, like here. And I write the word seen, kasra, ya, and noon. Or maybe for the time being, let's remove this. Now what you find is that seen, sa, with a kasra, immediately followed by ya, which is what its partner alphabet is. And the sound is prolonged, it's extended. It's not like here, go ti ba. It's not just ti, it's seen, like ti. So what I'm trying to say is that all these three vowels, that is dhamma, which is u, fatha, which is a, and kasra, which is I, they have their own sounds, and these sounds get lengthened, extended, when they are immediately followed by the three letters which are their partner letters. Let's call them that way. Dhamma's partner is vav, fatha's partner is alif, kasra's partner is ya. And as I said, they would not appear in a word except in a way that the next letter, if at all, belongs to these three categories, three letters, alphabets in Arabic, alif, vav, or ya, they will always have consistency. They will always have the same pair coming together, or otherwise there's going to be a disturbance. I hope you know what I mean. Now, let me move on to describe something which is similar but has significance that you ought to know in order for you to be able to read words correctly. When you read a word in Arabic, quite often you come across two expressions. One is what we might write as jazm. In English, it would be jazm. And the other is shaddah or tashdeed. Which is literally making it strong, a strong appeal and so on. Now, this is shaddah or tashdeed. Now, when I write I here, I am using this system, tashdeed. Now, the idea is that when you are using jazm, you are as if coming up with a fourth vowel. In actual fact, it's not a vowel. It's something that stops. It's something that tends to put a break. Imagine instead of kataba, where you were using a sound to make the word flow, kataba, there's nothing stopping you. Instead of that, if you say, let's say, this word, in actual fact these are two words, but to put together, minhum, quite often it's used in the Quran, minhum. Mim has a kasra, that is the I beneath it, which gives it me. But the next letter, noon, has a jazm, which really just makes the flow broken. It breaks. It just stops. So it's min. You know, it's not mini, mina, minu. It's min, as if it comes to a halt. And then followed by her, which is written like this as well. And it has a dhamma, which is who. And then again, with the next meme, you have a jazm. So jazm tends to stop. It puts a break. That is one aspect. That is jazm, which obviously has a symbol that needs to be remembered. Like all other symbols, this is a symbol of jazm. It's written like this, and obviously some variation of it. The next one is shad, tashdid, very frequently used in Arabic words, and obviously in the Quran as well. So let's have a look. You have this word, mim, ain, lam, mim. Now, if you don't have the vowels clearly mentioned, you can pronounce it differently, variously. Ma'alimu, mu'ila, mi, and so on. I mean, no matter, there could be a number of different variations that could be worked out for this word. But obviously, it's not your baby. It's not you who are allowed to use letters with whatever kind of vowels that you would want to put forth. You've got to follow the Arabs in the manner they are using their words and the manner they pronounce it. So this particular word is pronounced by the Arabs like this: mu'allim, mu'allim. Now you might say that, what am I doing with ma? Well, okay, let me introduce something more as well, which I'm going to talk about more later, mu'allimun. But I'm not interested in this one at the moment. I'm interested in this symbol, which is tashdid, shad, which is essentially doing two things: bringing mu'al to a halt for a while, and then pushing it to the next letter. So it's a double action symbol, tashdid. So had it been shad, it would have been mu'al. That's it, nothing else, mu'al. But it's not shad. It's shad, but followed by a push. Mu'allim, mu'allim. It is said, and rightly so, that is actually, in fact, it's denoting double lam. It is as if its lam is mentioned twice. As we say, double L, double M. It's double lam over here, which is signified by tashdid, but the net result, effect on the manner the word is pronounced is that you stop like you stop in the case of jazm, and then you move on. You are pushed through to the next letter with one vowel or the other. Let's take another example. This word can have various different pronunciations. In its simple form, it is qatala. He killed. All three are, I hope you know now, all three are fathas. These are vowels which are the equivalent of a, qatala. However, in Arabic, we have another verb which has a tashdid on the, which would mean qattala. Qattala. So there is a stop like jazm and then push forward ta, qattala. So this is because there are two ta that have come together and they're not written together. Instead, there is a symbol of tashdid, shad, which gives you the understanding that they're both together. So there is, had it not been written like that, it would have been qat tala. That's how it is actually. Qat tala. Here also it would have been mu'al limun. But obviously it's not a legitimate way of writing it in Arabic. It's like this, muallim. That is shad, tashdid. I hope you get it. And tashdid and jazm both are very frequently employed in writing, reading the Arabic words. Just one more brief mention, and then we'll call it a day for this session. Apart from these two, there are three more symbols and their sounds which need to be understood, and I would say then probably we will have done with whatever introductory understanding that you need to have as somebody who doesn't know Arabic, and to move on to read it correctly. Obviously, I'm trying to be overambitious and trying to expect more from you, but I hope that you keep repeating it, repeating what I'm saying and practicing it, and you'll be able to know that it hopefully is getting registered. Now, I mentioned dhamma, I mentioned fatha, and I mentioned kasra. I hope you know that fatha is, let's say, be, ba, it's bu, ba, and b. Now, what are these? These are vowels. What is the equivalent of vowels in Arabic? Although some people would say that it's Arab, but it's actually harakat, haraka. These are haraka. These are the vowels. But similar to haraka are what are called Arab, which is what we are going to talk more about later on. But very briefly, in the very last part of this presentation, I would say that if you double dhamma, it's what is called tanween, is tanween. You are doubling it. Here also you double, and here also you double. And what happens? When it was single, it was bu, but when it's double, it's bon. When it was single, it was ba, but when it's double, it's ban. Now you might ask, why have you written alif over there? Well, that's what the practice is. That's what the Arabs do. When they add double tanween on on fatha, then they add an alif as well. That's the convention. And the third one is it's b, and you make it tanween, it's bin. So the very last thing that I would say here is that, let me put it in words. Let's say if it is kitab, it would be kitabun, kitaban, and kitabin. All these three are Arab, and just let me very finally I put down, it's kitabun is rafa. Because it's tanween, now it's not dhamma. Kitaban is fatha. No, not fatha. It's rafa, nasab. I just forgot. And this is jar. Now, what is this all about? What is the significance of these Arab, rafa, nasab, and jar? Is what hopefully we're going to talk about more and more. The more we proceed towards the next steps in understanding Arabic language. I hope that you have been able to come up with some kind of understanding of the manner that we read Arabic letters and make them into words, but hopefully more of it in the next session. May the Almighty enable us to understand His book in the right manner and also be able to read it in the best possible way that we can manage to.